Hello, and welcome to the Watching Now podcast from Couch Soup. Today we are here to finish off. We're finishing off our Stranger Things season 5 review, and what a bunch of episodes that we've just had, and a 2 hour, 2 whole hour finale. Man, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot. It was like maybe a little bit more than 5 whole hours worth of television that we just watched over Christmas. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Welcome to 2026 at Couch Soup.
We've got a lot to talk about in those 5 hours, so we probably should get going. So let me introduce to you our crew. Once again, we have Steph
Hello, hello.
and we have Michelle
Hi.
and we have me. I'm Ian. I will be hosting
Hi,
today.
Ian.
We should probably just get into it, right? Because we've got a lot to talk about. So let's go into our non-spoiler reviews. Michelle, what did you think? Why the face? Like,
Why do I have to go first?
Why?
fuck you then. Steph, what's good? What's that? What's your favorite?
No, Steph gets
Well,
to go last because she's gonna have more to say. I loved it. That's all I'm gonna say. I loved it.
Wow, that's pretty, yeah, okay.
the anticipation.
I
We
loved it.
we
Well, because we all know I have diarrhea of the mouth, and so I just want to get into spoiler territory because I want
Mm,
to talk about the things. So I loved it.
Okay. Steph, what did you think?
I liked it. I think the time between volume one and two was a lot. So it really segmented my kind of like excitement. So then once two came out, I was like, okay. And then we had to wait like, what was it, like 4 or 5 days? And then volume three came out. And that also kind of really just kind of, again, like stopped the excitement. And then it was like, oh, okay. Uh, but I mean, overall, I feel like volume two and three was decent. I think there was some things I would have done differently if I were, the showrunner, but overall, I was surprised, pleasantly surprised.
As finales of beloved TV shows go, pretty good.
hmm
Pretty good. Look, a finale is not going to please everybody all the time. The best it can hope to do is please some of the audience for the
hmm
majority of the time. And I think for where this show is aimed at, which
Yeah.
is kids and teens. Yes, we were kids and teens. Well, we weren't actually. I was not. But like
No.
we, we could have been kids and teens when we started watching this. It's
hmm
9 years later, 10 years later, and we've all grown up into young adults or old adults, depending on who you are. You may have the expectations of an young or an old adult for your series finale. It's a fucking kid show. It's a teen show. You ain't gonna get, and this isn't a spoiler, but you ain't gonna get a fucking massacre. You're not gonna get one, especially not with kids. Like the actual pre-graduation children don't die often on screen. It's a big fucking deal when they do. That's my little rant over. It did its job. It did
hmm
its job. It tied up as much as it probably could do,
I
left a
agree.
few things open for potential spin-offs or whatever. It did its job, you know? It feels like I'm not very enthused. I enjoyed most of this show, the last 4 episodes. It's just, the internet drags you down sometimes.
The only hope is the sweet relief of death.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I gotta say, I was really good about avoiding like the internet too, like in between volume one and two.
Yeah.
Uh, between two and three, I was just kind of like, eh.
Hmm.
How much more can you spoil, truly?
Yeah, true. Speaking of spoilers,
Mm.
Michelle's about to burst. So
Mhm.
let's just go straight into it. Let's go into the spoilers. We're in the spoilers.
Yay.
Yay. We can spoil stuff now. You know, we do this backwards all the time because it's always the first thing that's on everyone's mind, right? Let's do the ending. Because,
Mm-hmm.
We have to, I feel like you have to.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the ending. Are we talking the first ending
Mm.
or the second ending? Because there's two. We Return of the King to this bitch. Like
Yeah,
there was a
there's a
couple
lot
of
to
different
talk about
endings.
depending on the
Mm-hmm.
ending that you go with. So I would like to start straight off with the second ending and just mention like I think they could have handled that just slightly better in only one way. And so like major spoilers here, obviously. I do think Elle is alive. I think she has survived. I think she toured it and she's living in like some Icelandic Nordic country. I wish, and I think it could have been a little bit more impactful had Mike been with her or Mike been on the cliff already or like they were hiking together. I think that would have been a little bit more impactful.
So you're a I believe type person.
Yeah, and there's
Like
also a shot that I've seen of I think it was all five of them actually at graduation and Gaten Matarazzo or Dustin Henderson's shirt where Tellfire lived is like specifically cut by his jacket that says
Elle
L
lives.
lives.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think so.
To me it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike's reasoning makes sense. Like the whole dragging him into the mind water palace. The mind water palace. We're going with the
Yeah,
void.
I know.
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What the hell did you just say?
because I can't
Um,
remember what it's called, but yeah.
it does make sense that she wouldn't have been able to do that if she was getting buried under the
Mm-hmm.
kryptonite thing. So I did like his reasoning behind it. It sort of makes sense, and I'm happy to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind the ambiguity to say whether she is dead or she is alive
Agreed.
because
Yeah.
I kind of wanted her to die. I made that plain in the last episode that we did. Like I thought that would have been like a nice little bow on top, but I don't
Yeah,
mind
all
that
I got
she's
from Ian is I hope Elle dies before New Year's Eve. I was like, oh, all right.
yeah. I did hope that Elle died. Yeah, but like it's ambiguous, but I side on your thinking there as well.
I was okay with her dying, because I liked her character, but I felt like it was needed,
Hmm.
for the story, just because she never really fit the puzzle that is like Hawkins, and she just kind of
Hmm.
it didn't really mesh with that whole world. So I think it made sense. And even though like for Mike's per se, like, that's like the hard reality of living without her, but he's done it before. Like, she's always just kind of ebbed and flowed out of their world, so to speak.
She's been kind of aloof, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it made sense narratively. Whether she's alive or dead, like it makes sense that either way she'd be on her own, just because she's caused so much, whether knowingly or unknowingly, like
Yeah.
uh,
Death.
caused so much death
Interesting.
and
So you're
damage and
enjoying,
destruction.
Yeah.
yeah, you're enjoying that they're kind of branching off from each other.
Yeah, because she can't live in that world. Like she can't be at
Right. Yeah.
graduation, she can't. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both endings were um justified. Like the first one, I think it hurt, but then it made everything a little bit more, I think, solemn and cathartic, with like
Cathartic's a good
callbacks to
word.
season
Yeah.
one, and then yeah, like that was like a nice surprise to have those kind of like flash forwards or supposed flash forwards. I don't know if they're true or not. I take it
Yeah.
as like every single one was actual. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely was like a somber feeling. Like I think when the fight and everything ended, I was ready for it to just kind of like end there and I would be okay.
Well,
Mm.
after Elle gets blown away by the void. Yeah.
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 Yeah, like I feel like I mean, it was nice to see and maybe needed to see everybody after and what Hawkins was like.
Let's talk about that because everyone seemed to get a happy ending, more or less. Somehow, Will and Max graduated, even though they missed so much school.
True.
Less so Will, but Max is
X.
gone for like a year.
2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like yeah, okay, fine. Hopper and Joyce getting engaged. Oh,
In those finally.
at
At
Enzo's
Enzo's.
finally. Something
Hmm.
good happened from
Yes.
Enzo's finally. Max and Lucas are
Hmm.
the power couple in Hawkins D&D
Adorable.
land. Yeah, they were adorable for the whole time that they came back together. I it was the older kids that made me almost tear up, which was not old. They're not kids anymore. They're at university
Hmm.
or not university, as the case may be. Nancy becoming independent, Jonathan being at a university, Steve being a high school sports coach, and Robin also at university, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like I imagine she's like in my mind, she's on like the West Coast, like or something like somewhere
it
more
it
like.
seems like a Robin thing, isn't it?
Hmm.
Those guys are the best. Those four were the ones that I kept going. Oh, I hope nothing bad to those four.
Well, and you
Honest.
heard it's been all over the internet, but you heard Hopper mentioned Montauk, which is where they need a new chief of police, which is what the show was originally going to be named, and it's what the show is kind of taken after.
I
It's
I,
kind of
I
cool.
think the Duffers have like squashed the spin-off rumors for Montauk, the TV
Yeah.
show. I know that there will be spin-offs. We know that in like there's already been announced a cartoon, but you don't leave IP on the table as Netflix don't. So, like
Mm-mm.
it's a
Yeah.
merch machine. They did a crossover with WWE this week. There's no there's no way.
True. True.
Hell, I'm
Yep.
wearing a KFC Hawkins t-shirt. It's
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
merch machine, guys.
Well,
Not
and they've
brought
been
to
at each like Halloween Horror Nights at Universal
Yeah.
yeah.
since Stranger Things freaking started.
I thought it was a nice end to the
Hmm.
the kids stuff, like wrapping up the D&D, telling a little story for the
Oh,
flashbacks,
yeah.
but then also seeing the continuation in the younger
In the
kids
basement. Hmm.
D&D game. Yeah,
I thought
Yeah, I
that
like
scene was
that.
perfect. Yeah, I thought that was the
Yeah.
perfect ending of them ending the way it started in their particular roles, Mike being the DM and the storyteller. It was interesting because having them have the closure of putting all their books back, go up the stairs, know that probably the last time they're going to do it. And then the little kids come running down and start fighting and yelling and around the table. And it was just so realistic and it was so
Hmm.
hopeful and optimistic for what the future is now going to hold. And it's a future that the kids that you're looking at didn't have in Hawkins.
I
especially
love too
those
that that
guys.
was
Yeah,
like the last day that they filmed. Like that was the last thing they filmed, which I was like, that's really
Yeah.
sweet. Like,
I love when they do that. Yeah.
yeah.
mhm.
Let's talk about it. It's not when we're recording this. This is not the 7th of January, but there has been some scuttlebutt
Mm.
online called Conformity Gate. I'm laughing already because it's so fucking ridiculous that people cannot understand that a finale is a finale. That just because you don't like the finale doesn't mean that there's another episode coming, guys. I'm not going to lie. So the idea here that some internet fans have come across is that there's a secret ninth episode to the season, which is
Mm.
actually the finale of the show. The kids and everybody are still in Vecna's mind. Don't worry about the 18-month time drum. Don't worry about that. They don't think it makes sense that graduation gowns are orange. They don't think that makes sense. It should be green. I know. Be,
Why?
something to do with Nancy's bit of yearbook in the earlier episodes was green or something. That I don't know.
That
This is
okay.
this is
I'll look it
it's
up.
all weird, right? They don't think it makes sense that Max graduates, which I also agree doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. They don't think it makes sense that everyone thinks that Hopper's dead and is still and now the sheriff again of the town. They don't think it makes sense that there's like get board games that which says Mr. What's it in the background, and it doesn't make sense that it would say X is a lie, like Dimension X is a lie in the D&D like books. Nobody thinks stuff makes sense. Let me tell you, it fucking makes sense, guys. Shut up, just shut up.
All right, y'all. You got Ian yelling at you. Now
God
we've crossed the
damn
line.
it. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is how they got away from the military without actually getting shot in the head.
Yeah,
Right?
for
They
that
killed
whole
a
part.
lot of people from the military, and what? Because the upside down's gone now. The K just goes,
Well, guess what's it,
actually,
guess
well,
pack
you
it up.
know, never
Yeah,
mind
go
then. See
home.
you later, guys.
Go home.
You can go home. I don't want to see you again, but you can't stay here.
Don't show up too late to work on Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
We're just gonna
Go to
knock down
school so you can
the
graduate.
fences. You're all good though. I don't care that you machine gun my mate in the face. That bit didn't make sense. But like, it's a nice ending. Just because people
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't die like the way
Mhm.
that you wanted them to, because let's face it, we were all expecting someone of a high caliber to die. There's been deaths. There's quite a lot of
Mhm.
deaths in this show. But they're all like nameless military people mostly and scientists.
I mean, it's Barb. You take that back.
In the last season of the show is they're mostly
Got it.
scientists and military people. There's obviously Eddie, who didn't come back as a demo dog.
Oh, yeah, you had to throw that in there, huh? We did not see Demi Dog, especially not with Eddie's face. I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping. I was still hoping through it. I
We
was
saw
hoping.
Eddie, but in flashbacks. It made sense. The Duffers came out right before, setting everyone's expectations, saying, "We ain't we ain't making Game of Thrones, guys. Just set your expectations. There ain't gonna be a load of deaths." I don't want to tell you. This was the
Mhm.
ending. Just accept it. Move
I'm not
on.
gonna lie though, they got me with Steve.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With the
The
Steve
Duffer
drop.
Brothers, yeah, when the Duffer Brothers went on Jimmy Fallon and they're like had all like the vinyl pop figures and they're like, okay, let's like play out the story and like Jimmy's like on the side talking about Barb because they threw Barb on the floor, so he's like standing there. But they like knocked Steve off the desk and I was like, ah, and I was like, okay. And they're like, no, he's fine. And I'm like, okay. And then that happened and I was like, no.
Yeah, that was the first time that I act like outwardly shouted in that one because it happened so early on too, and he got knocked off, and then the screen went blank, and I literally was like, "No fucking way!" And it was just too black for too long, and it was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of no fucking way moments, I feel like, in this episode.
Yes.
You know, this whole theory is so interesting because I have seen stuff, but I didn't know that it was tied to that big of a conspiracy. Like I've just seen
Oh,
like the stuff with like their books at the end and everybody's like trying to find like even with like the Hellfire Club shirts and stuff like that, like trying to find like the little pieces and I'm like, okay, yeah, like they like to put little breadcrumbs. Like I feel like the Mr. What's It
Yeah,
thing in the background, like I feel like that's just all little they like to kind of
The-
bring that stuff in and
yeah.
play off of it.
so yeah, my big thing that's been irritating me is that moment where Mike is writing at the end, right? Because he's the storyteller, he's the
Yeah.
writer, and then it comes up and says D&D campaign. People think that the Duffer Brothers lost in us essentially, and like everything that happened in the show was not real, and it was all part of the campaign that Mike had started at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
was
that as
like,
well.
no,
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah.
like none, like no, none of that makes sense to me. That's not how the Duffer Brothers would do it, in my opinion. Like I know them,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, that whole like the D&D campaign is Netflix's way of marketing. They're
Yeah.
gonna market it. I think that's gonna be a new campaign that they can release.
There's two other arguments that they put together for conformity gate, which I forgot in my rant because I was so passionate about this rant. So the other two is they think that the scars go missing on Mrs. Wheeler when she shouts down at them from the upstairs to say, "Come and get your lasagna" or whatever.
Pretty sure it's not the scars, but okay.
You know, and the other thing is the way everybody's sitting in the graduation scene is with like hands like that, and that's the way that Henry folds his hands.
Oh,
And I'm
well,
like,
yeah.
but
Huh.
that's way everybody folds their hands when they're sitting down. Well,
Mhm.
nobody's going to be like this in a graduation, are they? Because
I do that
yeah,
like
well, you sit nicely. That's what you do with your
mhm.
hands, and it's actually not all of them anyway. If you look at the picture, so it it doesn't
Mm.
make sense. I'm going off on one
Yeah.
again. I'm not going to go there. We need
It
to
was
move.
very sunny, like it was in Mr. What's Its Mind.
It was fairly sunny, I suppose.
Yeah, it was bright and happy, cheery.
Yeah,
I will say, speaking of the opposite direction, Purple Rain, I don't think I'll be able to listen to that in like the same way for like a
Such
few
an
months
epic
after
use,
that.
such an epic use of that.
Yeah, that was the one thing about this season. I feel like the soundtrack wasn't as impactful in some parts as like
Agreed.
previous seasons, but then that came in and I was like, oh, okay, that makes up for it. It was kind
Now,
of them using like running up that hill, like, oh, we're gonna use it again because it was such a
yeah.
big hit in season four. Like it just slowly
yeah,
lost its.
yeah.
Now, I
I'd
know
agree.
I kind of shit on Holly publicly because Ian likes to call me out.
I really liked Holly.
Mhm.
Holly was my Michelle does not agree by the look of that face. Like, wow.
But I have to say, she kind of won me over a little bit there towards the end. She was helping get the kids all into the cave and
Mm.
keeping him busy and saving the kids. Like, I was like, yes, Holly, let's go. Let's go, Holly.
The rise of Holly this
Mm.
season, man. I
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great, and she found her backbone. She finally used
Mhm.
that fire pokey stick,
Mhm.
on Henry's face.
Pretty well, too.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
got a little bit of a gash.
I
That took
will
her
say
around.
her was it the first ep yeah, I think it was the first episode of volume two, at the end where she escapes Dimension X. Well, we don't know it as that yet, but
Yeah,
Right.
and falls into the upside down and she's just like screaming and they hear like Nancy and them like hear like what is that and then they're like oh Holly and I totally thought like she was a pancake
yeah,
because the way they cut it I was like oh okay well that really sucks for Holly and then you see Nancy like tearing up and I'm like yeah Holly's a pancake over there Mike I'm really sorry
yeah.
but then it's like this show would actually happen and I'm like
Yeah.
huh
Huh.
okay, I don't know if that's better or worse. Like, I don't know how they would have caught Holly.
Yeah, I guess Vecna did save the day a little bit there.
A little bit,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like it's kind of a weird like mirror parallel that we've kind of dealt with before too, with like the upside down and Hawkins,
Yeah.
like in season four with Eddie's RV and crawling through the ceiling. Like, so I guess it makes sense. But yeah,
yeah,
D
Mm.
Dimension X was
yeah. It was
a
something.
desert.
It
Well,
was.
so let me ask a basic question for both of you. What did you guys think of the entire formatting of it being a bridge into another universe and another dimension? The upside down is actually a bridge. What did you guys think of that? Ian.
Made sense.
Okay.
Like we were, me and
I
Steph were
thought it was
both
brilliant. I
doing
thought it
the.
was a brilliant way to switch it.
Yeah, me and Steph did the exact same face. Was like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's about
yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, we'll
It
go with
makes
that.
sense.
It
Like, and
does.
it ties easily everything together rather than
It
it
does.
being like, we got to travel through space and time to get to this
Yeah,
other planet in another
Right.
dimension. Like, I think it was a nice, easy transition. However, I feel like they should have called out in earlier seasons, maybe not so much as like the wormhole factor,
hmm
but just the idea that there's these fucking walls
yeah.
in
I
the upside down.
mean,
Like,
they didn't really want to be there that long though, did they? So, I guess you don't spend too much. It's not like a vacation spot, is it? It's actually like the upside
I
down.
don't
You
know, it
go
might
there
be
for,
really nice in the summer.
yeah, sure. Nice red lightning.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, I
And
think my biggest question is if Elle created the bridge by reaching out to Vecna because of Papa,
hmm
Mhm.
what did she create when she kicked him in? Like what did she kick him through
She made a door
originally?
and she just
She
kicked it
just made a
through and then
doorway.
closed it
Yeah.
straight away.
Got it.
So it's kind of like Doctor Strange, like opening up like
That
a,
makes sense.
you know, like
Okay.
a portal.
But the bridge wasn't created. But the upside down was there.
No.
No, like in my head canon, she made a mini bridge when
Hmm.
she kicked him through and closed it, and then
And he landed on the other planet.
yeah, and
Got
then
it.
he wandered around until the Mind Flayer like merged with him and became more creepy and viney and shit, and
Yeah.
then Elle in a tank at the start of season one reaches out, makes contact, like, and then builds a very temp bridge, but it's a permanent temp bridge if you get what I
Oh,
mean.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that was like the gateway for Henry to then go into the upside down realm and create it to
Form it to
for
what he
season
wants it to
one.
be.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the CGI like Mind Flayer spider battle and the Vecna's final verse. That's a
Amazing.
big ass spider thing, Mind
Hmm.
Flayer. We like
Hmm.
we saw the thing in season three, attack Starcourt Mall. To me, it just looked exactly the same but massive.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
More scary.
We
the the branch being or the tree being its legs was epic. Such a good idea because it was it was just and then it was just like
yeah.
legs. It
Yeah, it
was
was like
like
a dead
oh
spider that you
oh
find on the ground in the corner, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, sir."
yeah.
I will laugh on when before Volume 3 posted, I posted on Twitter or Threads or whatever it was, and it was like the picture of the rocks, but I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be the Mindful Layer Spire thing," and it's like, right idea,
Wrong
wrong
place.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like, I actually thought the CGI was pretty good. Like, I totally forgot that it
Same.
was fake, which I feel like the CGI and I don't know, that's just me. Like
You
maybe
forgot
it's
this
the color
massive
too.
kaiju spider thing was
Yeah.
fake. Just made
Yeah.
me laugh.
Great though. The way
I
that they
get it.
filmed all the battles, I agree with it.
You know, it could have been like the old style of filming where
Mm.
you just take like the tarantula and you film it and then you put it in
Mm,
and make
yeah,
it scale it up,
I
you know?
guess. You liked the final fight.
I
Like,
liked it. I think it could have been a bit more intense, a little longer. I feel like it was a bit too short, especially like Vecna's final, well, first final moment. Like, I kind of when I saw like all of like the teeth thingies or
yeah.
bones, whatever that is, I was like, oh, he's gonna land on one of those. I was like, it's there, like that's where how he's gonna die. So I was like, okay,
But,
I would have
but
liked to have seen it a little bit more intense.
yes, but and I agree with you. But the other thing that I have thought about and I've read about also is think about how much harm Beckman has already been under. He's broken a leg. He has been legilimens I'm thinking of the Harry Potter term. He's been, mind brainwashed by Will, taken over by his brain a couple times. So to me, the battle is actually a really, I did want it to be longer, but just for my own selfish reasons. But if I think about it logically, to me, I think it makes sense because he isn't going to be at the top of his game when we meet him for his final battle. He's actually like down three pegs, in my opinion.
Good
Mm.
idea. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. I mean, he's
He's
also
had to overcome a
exerted it.
lot
Yeah,
in chasing the kids and
yeah,
Hmm.
he's
sorry.
exerted himself by trying to bring the planet down as well, I guess,
But I
with
don't
And
know
keep
everything.
everything
how
together.
when you heard him in his mind, does that necessarily affect him though physically?
I would imagine so. It
Because
affects.
Will was in Henry's mind when Vecna died. So then wouldn't like because I was wondering how that was going to affect Will. Because I
Mm,
was
sure.
like, you know, if he's one with him, like doesn't that necessarily like connect him to the hive mind? I don't know. Like that's
I mean,
my
yes,
logic.
Yeah, I'm hand waving Will's hive mind
correct.
connection right now because like everybody else, it would mean that everybody else still has it as well, even though that they've got the dust out.
Hmm.
Yes,
I'm just
I
hand
agree.
waving it. I know he feels pain, but I he doesn't feel pain when he kills the
Yeah.
Gordon. I can't do it now,
You
Michelle.
got it.
I was
You got it.
good at this.
I'm good at this.
The Demogorgons. Yes,
There you
he
go.
There
kills
you
the
go. You got it.
Demogorgons and
Yeah,
doesn't feel pain. So if he lends a help
that's
to
true.
killing Vecna, I would
Yeah.
guess he doesn't feel pain. He's just in the zone, you know?
I will say I laughed because when I was watching it, I was waiting for like my theories to come true and nothing came into
Yeah, me
fruition,
neither.
which that's okay. But I remember I was like, oh, there's gonna be an Avengers moment. It's gonna be like the Thanos snap and like everybody's gonna die and they're gonna have to go back. And I'm like, no. But then I laughed because with Joyce with the axe, I was like, oh, well, it was an Avengers moment, just not
Yeah,
Listen,
just not the
yeah,
right one.
Vecna's
And
death,
that was more brutal
amazing.
because I'm like, ooh, it's not a sharp axe. And I'm like, we're gonna be here a while. Like, but I did like the impact of them like showing each like character's like
yeah,
torment from Vecna.
Journey. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, God, that's gotta really suck. I just also hate the fact that we'd never established that she knew Henry, but
yeah.
you know,
Off screen, like a lot of
yeah.
Yeah.
things. Yeah, off screen.
Oh,
Work it out off screen. It's fine.
yeah, that death was great. Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The way that they did that was so beautiful of showing each person's, like you said, trauma given from him, and oh, it was perfect. I think having Joyce kill him was the best idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mama Bear coming in for the win.
so that like there's the big story beats from the finale. I guess there's a bit of Harper and Callie here as well. Let's talk about
Hmm.
Callie actually. Let's finish off that thing. Was it a swerve that she was like being evil in the first few episodes of the volume two, or did she just realize that she couldn't do it to Harper and Eleven in the end? If we believe if
If
I
we
believe
believe.
the storyline, you
Oh God. I felt really gaslit by all of that. Like I was like the entire time I was like, she's either tired or she's just a real great liar, and just has malcontent. Like I was waiting for her to be like, oh yeah, I've been teamed up with like Henry since the beginning or whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Like, because you totally didn't like her at all. Like,
No,
and they
literally,
played
the
into that.
also that's the only reason I think that the ending is what it was with Elle actually surviving, because what else do we need Collie for? Why is she here
Hmm.
other than to save Elle at the end? Like, why else would she even be involved in any of this?
I mean, she showed the other kids what Henry was like by, well, helped show by shielding them from
No, there
Vecna's
could have been a
view.
different way to do that.
Okay,
She's annoying. I don't like her.
well that's fine. She was very small as well. I don't,
She's very small.
and I just want to shout out the three pointer that Murray hit with that grenade on the
Oh,
chopper as well.
Yeah, I guess. That's a three-pointer.
Oh, yes.
What a
Oh my
moment!
God. That
yes.
was brilliant.
Murray's
That was
epic
brilliant.
moment. Hell yeah, that was great.
They gave him one, didn't they? They were like, "Yes,
I had to.
Murray, here we go. Here's your moment. Here's a grenade. Here's a chopper. Chop it down. Boom."
I love the entire time he's doing. He's like, "What are you doing? You are insane. This isn't gonna work." And he throws it, and it totally works. And he's like,
I did a thing.
Yeah.
"I did it." The one thing I really, really wish we would have seen was Elle's jump, her leap from the conversation with Hopper all the way through to where the rift was, where the needle was sticking through that all the other guys climbed through. I wish
Mm,
we would have seen her actually exert that energy and that leap, because all of season five was kind of leading up to that moment. It wasn't really leading up to her killing Vecna necessarily. To me, it was more leading up to that moment of, let's see if she has the skill and if all the training has paid off to get her to leap all the way to where she needs to get to kill Vecna. I think that could have been a much more impactful moment, and instead we just didn't see it.
I think they could have done one, but I don't think we need to show her going all the way up. It's kind of like walking through a house and, like
Yeah,
you're waking up in the morning and you're going to go get coffees, but we don't need to show you getting out of bed, walking through the doorway, walking downstairs.
right.
Like it comes a little too like tedious and tiresome. But I agree. Like I feel like at least like one little like jump and cut on like her hitting the rock or something like,
Yeah,
and then it goes up to the top like
where
with
she
the
comes
belt
out.
commencing.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the escape from Camazotz, the longest scene in the fucking world, which was
I know
Max
what you're
and
gonna.
Holly talking to each other while Max has been waiting for so long to get out. So fucking long. Stop talking to each other and it
Just
worked
go.
out. Fine, it worked out. I don't it
Mhm.
worked out, but fucking
It had
run.
to work out. It had to work out because if it didn't, it was completely on them for talking so fucking long. Stop talking.
Run, bitch! Run!
You know, Lucas and fucking Robin and Vicky are all hiding in a fucking laundry while these two are just having like a war and peace
A
dialogue
moment.
with each other. Just
Heart to
fucking
heart.
run. Lucas is gonna die, you dumbass.
Oh, 1000% agree.
hmm But I did like the buildup of them going like throughout the whole episode to Henry's mind like exit point and like going down into the tunnels. But yeah, that whole scene, I was like, come on, guys, run, 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 run. But then again, Henry's like the slowest walker ever.
Yeah.
So
Every
like
time
they're
it would
like,
go back, like every time Holly would say something and then it would go back to Max to say something, I'm like, okay, that could have been the end. But then they're still going. It's like, okay, that you can say bye now. Just say bye. Goodbye.
like it was
Bye.
sweet, but it was also, I think like the anxiety kicked in. Like,
And then once they're actually done talking, they start walking.
yeah,
Walking.
Walking.
Not sprinting.
listen. If Henry can walk, they don't have to run.
Here. Henry does walk very slowly.
He does. That cracked me up the entire time. Anytime they're like, he's like chasing them and they're like running, sprinting for their life, and he's like, I'll just
He leisurely
casually
through the woods.
stroll along.
Yeah, I mean,
What a beautiful day here in my mind.
exactly. Doesn't need to run though. Like, there's no way out. He doesn't think there's any one out a way
No,
out
I mean it's
anyway.
his mind. Like he has
As,
control.
as soon as they get anywhere near, he shuts the door anyway, going, screw you guys.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So that leads us straight into the laundry scene, right?
Ah,
It's fucking great. I love that scene.
Mhm.
It's probably my favorite scene of the
same.
whole, like, volume two at the very least. It's Jurassic Park. It's the Velociraptor scene from Jurassic Park,
Mhm.
but with Demodogs. It
So great.
it was so good, and I cannot tell you how much I popped off saying, "Yes, fucking get in, Karen! You absolute legend, Karen! You rule!"
She came and did laundry.
Speaking of
I think
walking
it,
slowly, though, how the hell did she get there on time?
she's a mom. She'll figure
That
it
part.
out.
She was stealthy as
I
well. She was real
I
stealthy.
will say it was really cute the moment the Demogorgons noticed, or the Demodogs noticed the laundry machine, and they like walk over and they're like head tilt. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, without Henry, these were probably like the sweetest, maybe, or kindest creatures, without like the mind flare in them. Like maybe they would have been a little
Um,
docile. I
maybe, but
just think they
they
had
have a
no
lot of
idea what
teeth.
was coming. They had
Yeah.
no
Mhm.
idea what was coming. And Karen, she did something in like a minute that like, they're just like running through
Yeah,
the halls. And I'm like, she's a fixer. It's the Wheelers. They
it
get things
is.
done.
My God, the Wheelers are such a badass family.
Well, minus the dad. He's
Yeah,
he had a
Well, yeah.
badass moment, but
with
then
Doc,
that
yeah.
I
was
was
it.
convinced that he was dead. I don't remember why I thought he had died. I don't think we knew that he wasn't dead until
We knew
graduation.
nothing. Yeah.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, I'm pretty sure he died, and then he came on screen, and I was
There's
like,
Ted
no,
Wheeler.
he's alive. He,
Just
he
sitting
is not,
there.
in fact,
Yeah.
dead.
Still got a face on though in the graduation. Come on, guy. Your kids are well, one of your kids is graduating here. Don't have a face
hmm
on. Why, Karen? Just leave him. Just leave him. Let's go for the will scene. it feels controversial to go through the will scene. You know, it was quite a long scene, and it felt like he'd had his coming out moment already. The whole getting powers stuff felt like the coming out scene to me anyway, but I'm not of the community, so I don't know if I can speak on it, but it just felt like the scene was pretty much the same length as the Vecna fight at
Mm,
the end, and
hmm
it sort of has same billing. Maybe not in the like the order of where things are, but you know, in terms of length, it was a nice cry scene. My mum cried when it came on. It was effective. Just don't know. It felt one of those moments again where we're racing against time and we're just having a little sit down talk. Soz, we'll just wait for the big bad Vecna to destroy the world whilst I have a little moment.
I think it was an impactful scene. I think maybe it could have happened at a different point in time, maybe in the season. But then again, I guess maybe going into the fight, it makes sense because you don't know how things are going to end. But like we said,
It
like
would
they're
make
not going
sense
to.
if it had more to do with the end. It didn't really have a lot to do with the end. It obviously had some good character building, between Mike and Will. I personally had zero problem with it. I don't even understand why it's a thing, to be honest. I keep just reading and hearing that it ruined the season,
I don't
that
think
it was
that.
too long, that there was no point, and like I just have none of those thoughts or feelings. I didn't even know we were, kind of going to talk about it because to me it was just like what was wrong with it. It to me it was
Hmm
all character building, all story arc. Everything was leading up to it anyway, starting in like season three. And I think something that the Duffer Brothers I think have said, or I've just read it on a headline, I'm not sure, is they were just really trying to make it seem like what it would have been like in the 80s, because exactly what happened is everybody's just gonna kind of stare at you and be like, he's gonna be terrified, he's gonna get shot or something. There's
hmm
more things behind it than just ruining a kid's TV show. It just wasn't really a thing to me. I thought it was an important moment that he needed to do, and it made a big difference to make him strong enough to help defeat Vecna. I don't know.
No,
It
what
wasn't
I
really a
agree.
thing.
That was like the key for him going into the fight. Like
Yeah.
I do understand its purpose because it made him invulnerable to
Mm.
Vecna. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense.
It's very much
Yeah,
Voldemort, Harry Potter, Will Vecna similarities, to be honest.
yeah. That's why I wanted a little bit more from the Vecna fight was because we saw Will have multiple moments throughout the season where he's harnessing the hive mind, and you see all these really cool like power moments. I like what he did. It's cool. It just I want him win the fight a little bit more. I it was a sweet moment. I think throughout the season it was nice though to finally Will or at the center stage and not just beat them. I mean, he had moments where he was the victim, like that whole scene where he gets dragged by Henry into the upside down mind zone. I don't think he was really in the upside down, if I don't
No.
remember now. But that whole scene, like that was terrifying. And I kind of figured when I saw that in the episodes, I was like, oh, he could either be in Vecna's little inside the mind flayer, hooked up to the wall, or be where he was before. I do appreciate, I think, him coming out to everyone more because of everything he has gone through, and they did it, I think, in a nice way.
Yeah.
And I liked Robin sitting there with like Steve, his hand on her shoulder and just kind of like understanding. And that whole thing where Max, like, she's like, "Can you come over here and like so I can hug you? Because like I can't move." Like,
That was funny.
so I think it was nice to see his rapport too with like all the other characters.
Nancy then. Nancy, uh let's Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve it. Nancy ends up alone. Like she should be alone. She should be alone.
Girl power.
Um she was a fecking badass in the set.
Mm-hmm.
She's been a badass for a while now. I know
Yeah.
in the first couple of seasons I was hating on Nancy a little bit for being a bit wet, but like in the last couple of seasons, she's the one who faces down the big spider demon.
hmm
she's the one who shotguns the weird exotic matter thing, and she's just there's a reason why they styled her hair after like Ripley and Sarah Connor
Right.
this year.
Yes.
She's the badass action hero of this season.
What was that white goop room? Was the exotic matter like bleeding? Like what was all of
It was
that?
just like I think it was like hot enough for enough to melt everything, and it just kind of made
And then
everything
it
goopy,
solidified.
and then it would harden. Like,
Hand wave.
yeah, I needed a little more
Got
explanation
it.
of that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Hand
I
Okay.
wave.
will say this is kind of going ahead before like we talk about them, but like when they're sitting on the table and everything's all goopy around them, it gave me a lot of like deja vu for like Jumanji when they're like floating through and there's like an alligator that like just kind of like swims by and or crocodile, whatever it was. And I was totally waiting for something to like come by and be like, ooh.
Hey, hey, hey,
But
James Cameron, there's enough room on the fucking door.
oh yes, that too, Titanic, yes, the door. There's enough room. If Jonathan and Nancy can sit comfortably on
On the
a
table.
table, they can
Yeah.
fit on a door.
It
Uh,
was pretty cool the way that Jonathan realized in that moment that he's not right for it, Nancy.
mhm.
The unproposal was great. Like Steve telling Jonathan later saying, it's not going to work out between me and Nancy anyway.
And
I don't want
Jonathan's like, wait a minute.
six little nuggets."
Yes. Oh, and he kind of got them in the end. He became
Yeah, he did.
the PE teacher, basketball coach, or baseball coach. Let me get my
Yeah,
sports right. Yeah, I think it was a nice that nobody kind of ended up together in that regard, like for that
yeah,
trio. Like, I think it made sense. Like, I think it would have been nice for Nancy and Steve maybe to have possibly worked it out, but it wasn't going to make sense and it wasn't a good relationship. So it just
no,
didn't work. And Jonathan and Nancy haven't been working since like season four, like the start of season four, maybe
no.
even end of season three. Like
Well,
they've never
season
really meshed
Yeah, season
in
three,
my
man.
mind.
Like, it's like Jonathan wouldn't take Nancy seriously about the fucking rats.
We
Speaking of
don't need
Steve,
to go back there.
no, we don't
No.
need to go back there. Speaking of Steve, I
Hmm.
loved the Dustin breakdown in the stairwell
Hmm.
with Steve. And I love those two together. They're best friends and they should be forever. And I like that they realized after they had a fight and almost destroyed the world that they realized that they are best friends and they weren't there for each other. Well, Steve was
Hmm.
trying to be there for him, but not in the right way.
Yeah, they were misunderstanding each other. And yeah, I think I agree, that was nice because I knew Dustin was struggling and I knew that they were going to have to at some point cover that and get into it. So I think it was interesting to see because it was kind of hard because all the seasons, I guess minus season one, they've been such a close-knit group
Yeah,
or duo. So this was hard to see them like at odds. I can't speak today, at odds.
yeah.
That was really difficult. So yeah, that whole scene, I mean, like I was teary-eyed. I was not crying at all during the Jonathan Nancy thing, but that
No.
like I kind of cried because that one it wasn't really sad. It was just kind of like
Oh, yeah, this is right.
admitting
Yeah.
the truth. But that whole thing of like don't cross, you're gonna fall, like, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, like, dang, yeah, they were
I
nice, and even in the end, they were together.
I liked it for their storyline, their story arc. It was
Mm.
necessary. Dustin needed Steve.
And Steve needed Dustin. And I
Um,
like that Steve didn't go off to college. Like he kind of like is kind of staying in his roots and grounding himself and teaching sex ed. But with this,
Hilarious.
there's only a couple of things left on my list. I know there might be some more on yours. Schnookums.
that
Mr.
whole
Clark. Mr.
that whole
Clark entering
sentence.
at the final hour as part of the group. It's like he's under the plate, but not pancaked. It's all good, you know. Like,
Mhm. It's all good. That he his whole and he understood everything so calmly. Like he just kind of took it in because he's a science guy. Like he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
he was a science guy, and he also spoke D&D nerd as well. So like it
mhm,
Yeah.
obviously made sense to him. Yeah,
it
And
meshed.
he helped a lot when he needed to.
yeah. He opened the doors for them, didn't he, Mr. Clark? Because he didn't go to the Upside Down in the final battle. He was
Mm-mm.
in
No,
the clock
Tower
tower
with
with
Erica.
yeah, with Erica.
that's right.
He didn't get captured by Kay, even though they were searching the church. Handwave.
Eh, going back to episode, what was it, 6 or 5, Escape
Hmm.
from Camazotz. The whole thing of bringing in, which is just like a different kind of spoiler, the Stranger Things, the first shadow lore, just like a little bit. I think it
Yeah.
would have been nice to bring in a little bit more to
Mm.
kind of understand. Like maybe start off an episode with that kind of like time period where it's not so much as like we're seeing it in Henry's memory, but like it's happening. I think that would have been interesting because not everyone's had a chance to see the stage production. So I think understanding Dimension X a little bit more or seeing it a little bit more before everything or before Henry got there, like I think that would have been
Yes.
interesting. And maybe that could be like a spin-off thing,
Well,
like limited series.
well, that's what in one of my unanswered questions. I know
Mhm.
that the scientist had a rock from Dimension X, but we don't know how the fuck he got the rock from Dimension X, the abyss,
Mhm.
because it contained a fragment of the Mind Flayer. It must have done because he was part of it. It seemed like he was like resist to it. That's one of my unanswered questions: is where the
Mhm.
hell's that rock come from? In
Well,
the
and I believe it steers away from what they did in the stage production, dude, because that one it was like a ship or whatever like that they used to travel there or something. Like I
Oh,
forget what it
really?
was because there was like a tragedy in Dimension X with
Mhm.
the scientists. So I think them like I don't know, like I why was that guy in the cave then? Like, if Henry didn't stumble upon the tech, or maybe that is the tech. I don't know. They never really,
Yeah.
it's like a stage production, so it's not as, highly visual as a show. That's a good point because that the rock was really cool. I'm glad they showed us at least what was inside the case because I was like sitting there, I'm like, what's in the box? Like,
Yeah.
What's in
I
the
Yeah,
need
that
to know
box?
what's in the box.
What's in the box? Not until you give me the What's in the fucking box?
Um,
I was happy that they gave us an origin story for sure.
Another unanswered question that I have: what was the sonic weapon? And why did it only affect like people with Henry's blood?
mhm.
I still don't understand how the kryptonite works. I just don't
I feel like
understand
that's
it.
kind of obvious though, because Elle and Kali and all of them have like mind powers, right? So it's clearly some frequency that not all of us are going to have access to that inhibits their powers. What other explanation do you need?
Well, I guess I agree with Ian in the sense of like, I feel like, and this kind of goes back to Dr. K, and I forget what this character's name was, but in season 3 or season 4, I forget. But when the military started to make an appearance in the
Yeah,
series, to me, I would have liked more of an explanation as to you've got the government, Dr. Brenner, Dr. Owens projects, and then you have seemingly Dr. K and that other guy and their
Hmm.
projects that they're working on. So I feel like I would have liked a little more explanation as to
yeah,
how did we discover that the sonar gun thing worked? How do, like all the different things. And is it just simply that she stumbled upon Dr. Brenner's research and it was like, I'm gonna do that. Like I would have liked to, in
Isn't she
my,
the replacement for Dr. Brenner?
it's like separate programs,
yeah.
separate fields.
There was a whole K thing, which is still to be cleared up for me as well.
Mhm.
Like she's still alive. Like she let the kids go somehow, for some reason, and Hopper and
Mhm.
Murray, people who've actually actively killed members of the serving American military. That's fine. Another hand wave. But like she's still around. She's I don't think that she's would have stopped wanting an extra weapon. Like they still have. I'm assuming that the Demogorgons didn't go up in dust. They still got exotic matter from the abyss. So for me, that
Unless
doesn't
they
go away.
stupidly kept everything in the upside down, and there she's like, ah, there goes all my research.
Yeah, I don't see it though. Like, where did Argyle go? Is Dr. Owen's dead? Is has Barb and Dustin broke up? All very good questions that I don't really care
Oh,
about,
you
but
mean
like,
Susie?
yes,
Susie.
sorry. Yeah, not
Barb and
Barb.
Dustin.
Hot
That's the
take.
other spinoff.
There's
That
a
was the demigod. It was Barb, not Eddie.
yeah,
Yeah, I had the same questions like as you. I'm assuming like Dustin and Susie broke up like before season 4
season
or post season
5.
4,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
when he was in
because
his angry teen era.
just
Hmm.
depressed time. Yeah. Yeah, that to me that makes sense. Although I feel like in season 4 maybe they weren't together anymore and Susie's like, "Why are you here?" Like he and I broke up months ago, like relevance. I feel like Argyle's still hunting for mushrooms in Hawkins. He just
Yeah,
got lost. But Dr. Owens, that was one that to me that was like a big one. Um,
I feel like he's dead. I feel like
I feel
we're
like he's
meant to
probably dead.
think that he was killed in the bunker, even though it was done off screen.
Hmm.
I just want to say that I think Vecna is one of the best villains that we have had in a very long time. He is cruel and torturous, and he showed an 8-year-old boy his dead parents with their eyeballs blown out of their head. Like, he's cruel. And I think the Duffer Brothers didn't hold back on him being cruel to kids. While we were just discussing like the whole murder thing, murdering kids, they still traumatized kids. And I found it added a depth to the show, and I just appreciated it because
Hmm.
I'm a big horror movie person, so him being a villain was great.
Yeah, I think Vecna season 4 to me was peak villain. I feel like Vecna season 5 for
Agreed,
me,
yeah.
like it was still intense or creepy, but it wasn't quite like he had moments, like, little moments.
Yeah.
So I feel like season 4 Vecna is probably like the best
And
villain. I feel like season 5 Vecna, it's like it was too much Mr. What's It. Like Mr. What's It was interesting,
Hmm.
but I would have liked to have seen more of
end of volume
Vecna
one,
being Vecna.
massacre, Vector.
because
Yeah,
that was like a great moment to see that.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit more of that, but I would have liked.
You're gonna give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love.
And they weren't doing all the makeup like they were doing in season 4
Mhm.
for Jamie. So, they could have done more. Well, Jamie.
I think that might be the spoiler section done. So we should really go on to rank this
Mm.
half season because I got told off last time from Michelle. Steph, will you go first, please?
Okay, I'm gonna say the first number that pops into my head, 8.5,
Okay.
which is like a very specific number, but like I feel like to me, I can't like as far as volume 2 and 3 go together, like there was a lot of great moments. I think it's hard for me because everything was so segmented. Like I feel like for me, like as a whole, the season ranks as like a 9.5. Like it was good. It was great. I think there was things they could have done better. Like I kind of liked some of my theories a little bit more than what happened, but the way it ended and everything, I think it was satisfactory and it satisfied everything that I needed.
Yeah.
I think the second half in general as a whole was I'm with you. I think an 8 out of 10. The entire season, I think final seasons are tough to judge because you know the ending and you know what's going to happen. And I think the excitement of not knowing the ending in other
Mm-hmm.
mid-range seasons is easier to gauge. Unfortunately, I think there are two better seasons of Stranger Things than season 5, but I still think it's a solid, like, oh gosh, I don't know, 8.5 to 9. 8.5, 9. I don't know. I'm all up in that range because
Mm-hmm.
it's hard, but it was great. It wasn't worse than an 8. I don't know. It was good. I'm gonna go 8.5 as a season as a whole.
Volume two, what is is tough. It's tough because, you know, the penultimate episode of this show is so much of a nothing episode. And it
Hmm.
obviously
Yeah,
it's a load of setup, but
yeah.
it's got that Will speech in it, which is great. But it harkens back to the penultimate episode of Buffy. It's a whole lot of people saying goodbye to each other, even though most of them
Hmm.
aren't going to die. And then it's just it ends on the we're in the upside down now. See you later. I'll see you in a week. And I'm like, this doesn't work for me a lot th these days.
Yeah,
And I don't need
Hmm.
this penultimate episode like this, especially if you're dropping
yeah.
it in hits like you have been doing.
Hmm.
Having said that, good fucking show. It's hard to do a finale correctly, and I think that for the most part, for the tone and the audience that this show aims itself at, this was a finale that correctly did it.
Hmm.
What, would I have popped off if like another death had happened, like apart from Steve? Steve must be protected. Probably would I popped off if the CGI fight was another 5 minutes? Yeah, probably. Yeah. If we'd had more of everyone beating the shit out of Vecna, like everybody with lots of bats,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, yeah, I would. I think it did it well. It
Yeah.
was satisfactory, and that seems like a negative word, but it's not. It's done it as well as I think that a finale
Mhm.
could have done. If you're watching this and a secret ninth episode has been released, then disregard everything that I said because that would make episode 8 of season 5 of Stranger Things one of the worst episodes of TV in all of history.
But not right,
Get it.
like right now, it's good. It's
Yeah,
great.
fucking hate. I hate, and it was all a dream. I hate it.
Hmm.
I hate it so
I
much.
don't want it. I
And
don't
Hmm.
want to.
if that happens, I will be very fucking angry. But I'll
Yeah.
go for an
I
eight and a
will be
half.
seated, but I will be angry.
I'll go for an eight and a half.
Agreed.
It's not going to happen, so I'm going for
Yeah.
eight and a half. Eight and a half is where I go. That was us. This was the Watching Now podcast from Couch Soup. This was the final episode of the Stranger Things Watching Now run. Have we all had a nice time?
Mhm.
Have we all had
Does
a
it
bit of
have to
cry?
end?
Yeah.
Does it have to end?
It fucking does, apparently.
Ugh.
Unless we
Okay.
got to the ninth episode, and then you'll see us again
Well,
talking
yeah.
about that ninth episode next time. But it's not going to happen, so there we go. If you liked this, then please like, subscribe, leave us a comment underneath. Consider becoming a member of CouchSoup.com, where you can support independent creators like us, me, Steph, Michelle, loads of other people doing articles, doing watching nows. I'm sure there'll be a really good one coming down the road, but I'm not actually sure what is up next, to be honest.
Me neither. It could be Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like
Oh,
this
Mm.
spring.
Mm.
ooh. Interesting. I heard that it's got a bit more of a comedic tone than other.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see.
You
Yeah.
also, if you liked Welcome to Derry, Ian and Lily just did
Yeah.
a recap of season 1. So you should also check that out.
Yes, a series that Lily has not been salty on. It's one of her favorite
Mm.
series of the year. But
No shit.
yeah,
What's the year just started?
last year.
Got it.
Yeah,
But
2026, we flash forward. Nothing great happened. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like Bridgerton
not that.
season 4, I was
you
waiting
know,
for that.
if,
It was
I mean, fuck
Oh,
a
2026
third
is that
Wicked
what we're
that
saying?
just
Yeah,
came out of nowhere.
yeah. Uh, well, it is a franchise. Yeah, there's the
It
next
is.
Dune. There's the next Scream. I'm hoping for the
Mhm.
next Fast and Furious.
James Bond. I don't know.
Doomsday, for
James.
Avengers Doomsday.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, House of the Dragon is gonna come out. So it's Night of the Seven Kingdoms in the spring, and then House of the Dragon this summer, and
Hmm.
Wow.
yeah, Doomsday. We got a lot of trickle, teasers coming in for Doomsday.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody, or listening. Audio listeners, I've got your back. But for now, we shall say goodbye, everybody. Upside down,
Down.
waiting me.
One eternity later.
Bye.
Bye.
Round and
We
round.
don't want to get monetized. Sorry, Diana Ross.
And also, there's no way that any goddamn like AI thing would be able to pick up what I was singing then as a real song. So let me tell you, it fucking makes sense, guys. Shut up. Just shut up.